Except for one.
You always do this. I wrap it all up. Everyone's like, yeah, you done it again.
Sorry, I'll get out of your hair, but there is just one more thing.
Go on.
There was a story that came across our desk today that I felt that we absolutely had to talk about.
Yes.
Now, apparently this is not necessarily a new thing in Australia, but given the hideous decline in standards of this tabloid publication that we both write for, it's the first time that either of us has heard of this concept. There is a luxury gated community that is being built in Queensland, in the Fraser Coast, which has its own airstrip. It's called an air park, and they're naming it the Aquila Estate and Flying Club. So it'll have one grassed runway, one asphalt runway, shared hangars, access to airspace, a clubhouse. It's designed for people who own their own light planes or their own helicopters and want to take them out. It's kind of like you've got the runway right there.
A joyride.
Yeah, which strikes me honestly as one of the most bougie things I have ever seen.
Now, there's two sorts of people that would live there. One, potentially very wealthy aviation enthusiasts.
Those that can afford it and those can't.
Yes. And also the sort of people that want access to a runway literally next to their garden so that their, private captain can just fly them wherever they want to go. It is interesting because people moan, we spoke about this before, people moan about aircraft noise. These people are paying almost certainly a huge premium to get within touching distance of that runway, to have the runway next to their garden.
Yeah, well, it's, they would really like the purring of sky kittens,
They
I
would like
suppose.
the purring of sky kittens.
But it's, they've, I think, blocks of land are going for $300,000 and, you've got to get the architects to build the house as well. Interestingly, you are allowed to live there if you're not a pilot and don't own a plane. But when you're building your house, you do have to allow for a hangar to maybe be built there in future.
That's extraordinary, isn't it? So rather than having a garage, you've got a hangar.
$300,000, that's pretty standard.
I was going to say that's not too bad.
That's not too bad, yeah, exactly. Might have to fly down for the show and then go back home after this.
Yeah, but there's a few of them around the country, apparently. It's just this is going to be like a real sort of, they're pitching it as like a real high-end gated
So they're called an
community.
air park?
It's called an air park, yeah. So there's a few. There's Ralston Air Park near Mudgee. There's Twin Rivers near Wentworth. That's about 30 k's from Mildura. There's one in Queensland, at least one, the Whitsunday Aviation Village Estate, or WAVE, catchy name, which is right next to Whitsunday Airport, Chute Harbour near Airlie Beach. The air park first originated in the US, of course. Sierra Sky Park in Fresno, California. That opened in 1946. With the first homes coming a few years later. But this is a concept that if any of our listeners out there live in one of these air parks, let us know how it is. We're very curious.
And keen to come along.
Yes, this is what I was going to say. So this is how I'm dreaming up the feature. If we go to the air park, we'll do it in the magazine. We'll do like the Neighbours font, It'll be like Neighbours, wouldn't it?
Air park.
Yeah. We'll have Carl and, whoever.
Where's Harold?
Harold. Yeah, but I want to know, what is a community like? What do they do? Is there a pub, a library, or do they just gather around the runway? It's extraordinary.
Maybe that's Channel 9's effort because Neighbours has always been on 10, Home and Away on 7. Air Park could be coming to you on Channel 9, 2024, second
It is
half.
quite away from Palm Beach and Home and Away, isn't it? Where we've run out of options.
From the people who brought you 2.5 Men.
Yes.
The Brits would love it. I'm sure it'll be over there in no time.
Yes.
But that's very, very interesting. So look forward
Get
to...
in touch with us.
Get in touch,
Media at australianaviation.com.au. If you live in one of these air parks, we need to hear from you. Invite us round for a cup of tea, chat to the neighbours. It'd be great.
A Coke down at the local cafe.
Yeah, I don't know.
Whoever the Alf equivalent's going to be, or Harold. Anyway, looking forward to it.
Yes.